There once was a castle that held a dark secret. The castle was a school to many students, but the students weren't aware of the secret. Until one night. A group of students were woken up by people running down the halls outside their door. When the students awoke, they could feel an ominous presence emanating from somewhere inside the castle. The students heard a knock on their door. It didn't sound urgent or as if someone was trying to warn them of something, so they all agreed not to answer it. Instead, they slid out of bed onto the floor and hid behind their beds. The door flew open and they knew that they were doomed. The students shivered behind their beds as they heard the steps slowly come toward them. Luckily, someone must have walked by and looked into the room to see the figure that had thrown the door open, and they screamed, drawing the figure's attention away from the room to chase after the student in the hall. The students were relieved and decided that they should find out what was going on. The students left their room and saw that the castle was beginning to crack and fall apart. They followed the crowd of students that were rushing toward the forbidden basement of the castle. When they reached the basement, they saw a horrific fight between their headmaster and something that they had only heard of in folklore, a vampire. Somehow, they knew that their headmaster couldn't win. The students had to find a way to help. They ran to one of the teachers who looked like she was forming a plan in her head. The students told her they wanted to help her with her plan, and they began to work immediately. The teacher knew that the vampire's power was coming from a tomb that was in the middle of the castle. In order to defeat the vampire, they had to destroy this tomb. They got one of the gargoyle statues from the roof of the school and took it to the highest floor where they could still see the tomb, and prepared to drop the statue onto the tomb. They gave the statue one final push off of the edge, and it fell, exactly as planned, directly on top of the tomb, destroying it. The tomb let out an explosion that shook the whole school. In the basement, the fight was over. As soon as the explosion had reached the fight, the vampire had fallen and was defeated by the headmaster. The group of students that had saved the school quickly became friends, and after much convincing, all of the students decided that they would stay at the school now that it was safe.